Welcome back to Forward, and this is Dr. Paul D. Landry. I am your host, right here with Minister Marilyn Haynes.
What up?
You all right?
Wonderful.
Good. It's been a good discussion.
Yes, it has.
We've had an enlightening moment here, in terms of talking about careers, and got the link up, and hopefully the people are able to get on. Let me encourage you, those who are listening and those who are looking for us live on YouTube. I know it's not as easy. They say some people don't like to click links. Okay, it may not be as easy as Facebook Live, coming up, going in there and just making the comments. But remember, we're into development. We're into expanding ourselves. We're into increasing, and so we want to make sure that you're able to find it. It's on my page. The link on my page on Loving Words page should be there, and want you to go ahead and click that link and find us. We're talking about career. I'm talking about career Thursday, and when we do that, then we've been saying today we're talking about the enemies of your career.
Yes.
Okay. And when we talked about those, what did we say were the enemies? We listed some enemies of the career. What were those?
So we said that one of the greatest enemies of careers is life habits, and then
Okay.
we talked about the various, at least 6 of our life habits.
Okay.
One is time management,
Okay.
personal development, so responsibility to my personal development,
Okay.
social habits and connections,
All right.
financial habits, relational habits,
Wow.
entertainment habits.
Wow. So we listed those things
Yes.
as being the enemies of your career.
Yes.
Okay. And those that when you come out and we said we wanted to start talking about one, and we started talking about our social habits.
Social habits.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And one of the first things that we talked about when you brought up social habits was you talked about your social resume.
Absolutely.
Okay. What did you mean by social resume?
So social media outlets have now become the new references, career references, resume references. It
Okay.
has become the new resume
Okay.
for any employee or potential employee. Also, an evaluation and assessment of any current employee
Okay.
that's working in a corporation, because we spend so much time on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name all the other stuff that I don't know about. That is the place where we have this great audience that we talk to or give our opinions, have a bad day, exhaust our energy, connect with others, things of that sort.
Okay.
And a lot of times employers will look at your Facebook page to actually learn more about you than your resume or portfolio could ever tell them.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So they're out there, and you're on this thing. You're talking about this. So they're looking at what it is that you're saying on your social media page.
Absolutely.
Facebook, Instagram,
Absolutely.
your Twitter, or whatever the case may
Absolutely.
be. And it may be that the topic you're talking about has absolutely nothing to do with work.
Absolutely nothing. The majority of the time, it doesn't have anything to do with work, but it does tell them how I feel about certain things.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
And my opinions, watch this, because several people have lost jobs simply because of a statement they've put out there, just their opinion about how they feel about particular areas or particular individuals or particular situation or whatever the case may be. And because they're attached to that organization, then by default, you can clearly say, well, these are not the expressed views or opinions of this particular company. But when you're a part of that company, you represent that company.
You represent that company.
Absolutely.
You're wearing the badge.
You're wearing the badge.
Okay. And the thing about it is, you have on a shirt, and that shirt has Prime Life on it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, it doesn't matter whose cash paid for that shirt.
Absolutely.
Correct?
That's right.
That shirt has a representation of something,
Yes.
because you took a shirt that was, if you will, generic,
Yes.
and you branded it.
Yes.
And so now everyone who sees the shirt associates the shirt with Prime Life.
With Prime Life.
Consequently, because you have the shirt on, they associate you with Prime Life.
Correct.
So now you got this thing of saying that, look, as you're coming up, as you're doing this, it's this idea of saying we got to be mindful that our social habits affect our careers.
Correct.
And it's not just a matter of being in ministry.
Yes.
Because people are, folk in ministry don't want to be checked or challenged about what they put on their social media page.
Where they say they're not at church. I'm not in the, if you will, I don't know how this is possible, but I'm not in a ministerial position at that time. I'm not serving anybody. I'm not this. I'm not that.
The one that gets me though is, well, I wasn't in the spirit.
Well, I wasn't in the spirit.
What? Because I know what you're saying. I know you're going to go get a scripture.
Absolutely.
And the scripture is that, well, the Spirit of God does not strive with man always.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
But at what point am I not saved?
The Spirit of God may not strive, but God is there.
Yeah, he is there and he is present. And so this whole notion of this social media resume.
Yes.
And so somebody who's out here now keep in mind, we're talking about how do you keep your career on target. And so
yes.
I want to ask you, what's on your social media resume? Okay, what is out there? Because when you find out that question, you say, okay, what is it that somebody is saying about me? Okay, what is it that somebody is saying about me? Because as I look at this, when I say what can you find out about me on my social media, you can find out my viewpoint.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that's right.
You can find out about my relationship.
Yes.
You can find out about my social consciousness.
Yes.
You can find out about my convictions.
Yes.
My passions as well as my priorities.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Because now all of this, I see that because it's what I like. When people like something, okay, you're engaging or giving an endorsement to a particular thing.
And that even with that, even if you don't post anything, the things that you like, the things that you share.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Absolutely.
Whether you agree with them or not, they end up on your page. Nobody they didn't mysteriously show up.
They end up on your page.
You know what I'm saying?
They didn't just mysteriously show up.
And so sometimes it's your response to it.
And it's the very fact that if somebody was to make a comment, and if I, with the position that I hold, would agree with that comment, okay?
Exactly.
That shifts a lot of things.
Everything. No, it shifts everything.
Okay.
Everything.
It shifts everything. Because it says now, you mean you're identifying with such and such? That's why we try to walk such a fine line.
Absolutely.
In terms of how we respond to
Absolutely.
matters. Because we know that our words matter.
They matter.
Okay.
Not just that, our influence matters.
Wow.
That's probably the biggest.
Wow.
Because they'll say, did you see Dr. Landrew like that post that was out there? Did you see Dr. Landrew share that? Did you? And it could be that Dr. Landrew is just sharing it for some dialogue. To make you aware of it. But because you can't control the mind of your audience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They don't know whether you like it, whether you're opposed to it.
Exactly.
And so they get to decide. You give them the liberty to decide how they think you feel about what's on your page.
About a particular situation.
Absolutely.
And so the minute I put it out there, what I do is I lose the ability to manage how it's affecting people.
Wow. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so for somebody said, what does this have to do with career? It has everything to do with it. Mm-hmm. Because when I was coming through, when I was in corporate America, well, we had email.
Right.
Now we had the internet, but we didn't have Facebook.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We didn't have all that kind of
Absolutely.
stuff. We had email.
Yes.
And we could look stuff up
Mm-hmm.
on the intranet,
Mm-hmm.
which was a bunch of servers in the company
Inside.
that everything on the
Correct.
inside. Okay, not the internet.
Correct.
Right? So that's what we did. Then the advent of the internet came along and stuff just blossomed from there.
Right.
But my social media resume. Okay. Now here's the other thing on the social habits. Let's talk about this for a minute. What are my entertainment habits?
Wow.
Okay, talking about career, talking about this. Stay with us because we got a scripture for you here.
Yes.
What's our entertainment habit? What do we say about that? What do we say about that?
Well, we talked about stuff that we engage in, stuff that we entertain. We talked about that we have to be careful. Watch this when dealing with entertainment vices. We have to learn how to, because here's the deal, and even one of the posts, it says a lot of people think that you're being fake when you don't agree to post everything.
Exactly.
Because some people go through life saying, this is my life and I can live my life how I want to. And I think one of the things that you really punched on that was great or brought out, it says learn to not just live life, learn how to manage life.
You gotta, my God, that's it right there. You gotta manage it.
So even the things that I entertain, even the things that I allow to entertain me, you understand, that I engage in, it can become an enemy to my career.
Exactly.
It can become an enemy to my career. I don't care who you're with. So when you come into alliances or allegiance with someone, that person takes on a part of you and you take on a part of that person.
Wow.
By default, whether it's family, whether it's professional, whether it's the person that shops in the grocery store and both of you go every Thursday. Now you guys have actually built, because you start to say, I wonder if I'm going to see that lady in the grocery store again today.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you've built an informal, if you will, relationship with this individual just by grocery shopping.
Just by grocery
Because y'all have Kroger in common now. You understand what I'm saying? You guys set your schedule now for Thursday around 5:30.
Around 5:30.
You don't even know that person's name, and you can say, "Oh, I ain't attached to that person. I don't know nothing." But you automatically becomes a social habit. Every Thursday, I'm going to Kroger's at 5:30 in hopes that I'm going to see this lady that normally shops at the same time I do, just to say, hi. Good to see you again.
Wow. It's a social habit.
It's still a social habit that you're entertaining.
And so here's the thing about it for us, and when you look at that from a career standpoint, that we build in social habits.
Yes.
And we incorporate them, and we think that they are really, in some instances, inconsequential and uninfluential in our particular careers.
Wow.
But that is not the case.
Wow.
That is not the case. That entertainment habit. Now watch this here. What you want to be careful of with an entertainment habit is that entertainment habits have the tendency to degrade your ability to perform your job.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
That's the thing. Now, depending on what that is, because anything that's done too much, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because it will affect things, even if it only affects your rest patterns.
Yes.
And when you come in and you are tired, or you come in and you are struggling, then now all of a sudden you're saying, look, I got an issue, I got a problem here. It's difficult for me to get here, difficult for me to get there, because now my entertainment habits, have become challenging.
Absolutely.
And so this whole notion comes back and says that is my ability to really and truly function, is it being diminished and minimized simply because I am a person whose entertainment habits are out of control?
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Wow, that's good.
Okay, because when I look at this and say that my entertainment habits are out of control, what does your social calendar look like?
Jesus.
Okay, and people get mad with that. But my social calendar is going to require, some attention.
Definitely.
It's going to require some attention.
Definitely.
And so as I'm looking at this and saying that my whole career is contingent on something, that is just, it's difficult. So my social, my entertainment calendar, watch this now. What does that include? It deals, with personal vices.
Personal vices. That's it.
Talking about careers and talking about folks here, and this is the kind of stuff we don't want to talk about. It deals with drinks and nights out.
Come on.
Okay, and here's, beloved, for everybody who's on, and for everybody who's listening, and for the people who are watching, I need you to understand, it's this place where we tend to lose the battle as it relates to being effective witnesses,
Yes.
and being effective in terms of moving forward, and being effective in terms of getting the blessings of God,
Come
and being
on.
effective in terms of getting promotions, and being effective in terms of moving to the upper echelons of our corporations.
Come on.
Why? Because there's some things that if we live in contradiction, okay, if we live in contradiction to what it is that we say we want to do, then we don't have the enablement and the empowerment. What we're doing is we're functioning under grace.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, thank God for grace.
Thank God.
Okay, thank God for grace. But God wants to empower us
Absolutely.
to move us forward.
Yes.
He wants to empower us to get us promoted.
Yes.
Empower us so that we get the raise. Empower us so that we get the increase. Empower us so that we get the position. Empower us so we get the visibility.
Wow.
Okay. So, and we don't want to just be here where we are not being empowered.
Yes.
But the question becomes, says here, how do I manage these personal vices? It drinks, nights out, and whatever you do is what you do. But the question is, you got to manage it.
That's it.
Okay? Nobody is saying don't live your life. What did you say? We're saying do what?
Manage it.
Manage your life.
Manage your life.
Okay? And so I wanna ask a question out here, is that what management practices, okay, are you using?
Wow. Wow.
Are you using
Wow.
to manage your life?
Mm.
Okay? Because when you ask that, when you do that, because now it says here, is it I'm gonna put something out here. Budgeting? Is it time management?
Mm.
Is it planning?
Mm.
Okay. Is it organizing?
Mm.
Okay. Is it communicating? Okay. All of those things are management, practices that you can use to really and truly manage your life. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
So now you got this thing of saying, look, if I'm putting on here, and folks are looking, we're putting the stuff out here so you can get it. But if I'm putting on here what it is I'm supposed to be doing, it's that I've got to manage my social resume. Okay, does that make sense?
That's good right there.
Okay, I got to manage my social resume. Okay, then I've got to manage. What's this now? Not only do I manage my social resume, okay, but then I've got to manage my entertainment habits.
Yes.
Okay, that's important. That's important. I've got to manage my entertainment habits. So now when I look at this, we go to the next step. It says here, look, there's some people I've heard the term a functional addict. Okay.
Hey.
Now here's the deal. Most people, when they use that word, they're talking about somebody who is addicted to some substance.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That's not always the case.
Yes.
And addiction can be to anything.
Absolutely. Oh no, absolutely.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
so there are some people who are saying that they are functional
Uh-huh.
addicts.
Uh-huh.
That they are functionally connected. They're functionally addicted to something. And they're functional while they're addicted.
Yes.
Okay. And that may be well and good, but at some point in time, that is going to have an adverse impact.
Every time.
So, so the question is this: do you understand? Okay, do you understand what it is that you are addicted to? I'm just rhetorical question we put out here on the thing. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. What is it? Okay, that you are functioning while carrying.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
While you're carrying.
I had a friend. I have a friend that works like 20 hours in a day, sometimes 3 days straight.
Ooh.
And we kept telling her, you need to get some rest. 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 But she was on this high of overtime and what her check would look like.
Wow.
For overtime. So much so, true story. There's a lot of people that's listening that will know I'm telling the truth, that can witness to this. They found her in front of her computer with her hands on the keys, and her eyes, her body just had locked up. So they weren't even sure how long she was really unresponsive while sitting there, because that's where she always was, working. So her family, her husband, her children, they just pretty much thought, oh, mom's still working, or my wife's still working type deal. And they ended up having to call the ER to get her to the hospital and put her in for a while. So
Wow.
so when you're talking about functional addict, and you can say, well, I'm working, so I can provide, so I can have overtime, so I can have money, so I can have that kind of stuff. You're living a lot, but you're not managing it. And the
Wow.
mismanagement of that then starts to affect not just you, but the people around you as well.
Wow.
So
Wow.
your work, but now your health is on the fritz. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
Lack of sleep, just everything. She was just there like zombied. And they weren't even sure of how long she had been, because they were just accustomed to seeing her there, and they thought she was busy working, until I think one of the children went to say something to her, and she didn't respond, and they walked up behind her, and shook her or whatever type deal, and she was just frozen solid.
So her addiction was not even something that most people would have considered to be destructive.
No, it wasn't a controlled substance or anything.
But it was the fact of being addicted to whatever this paycheck was going to look like.
Yes.
The potential, the possibility, the promise, and the actuality
Yes.
of overtime and a fat check
Yes.
that drove to a point of being locked down. Now that analogy is perfect, because if you don't manage it,
That's it.
it will freeze you.
It will freeze you.
Wow.
Yes.
Because you run into a contradiction.
Absolutely.
And how many times do we,
Wow.
as
Run
the
into a
children of God,
contradiction.
that what happens to us is that we got all this stuff going on that we don't manage, and we run into a contradiction.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
That's good.
Okay. So when you run into this contradiction, okay, now all of a sudden you're stuck, and that which you have earned while
Yes.
you were functionally addicted
Yes.
is now put at risk.
Absolutely.
Because you incapacitate yourself.
You incapacitate. You can't even do anything with it. So now that extra is going to a medical bill.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Wow. It incapacitates you.
Absolutely.
Watch this now. The other thing when we talk about the career enemies, we got social habits, and that's broken down. You got to manage your social media
Yes.
resume. You got to manage your entertainment habits, and then you got to understand that there's some functional addictions that you got to manage.
Yes.
Here's the second one. The second one under career enemies are time habits.
That's
Okay.
the big one right there.
Time habits. Okay, right? Okay, time habits. Okay, Ephesians 5:16. What does that say? You got that?
Yes, sir.
What does it say?
That's what I say. Ephesians 5:16 says,
Mhm.
"Make the most of your time,
Wow.
because the days are evil."
Wow. Make the most of your time.
Yes, sir.
See, one of the things that we as the children of God got to understand is that it is not a luxury for us to be perpetually lazy.
Wow.
Okay? So watch this now. When I start talking about inefficiency, okay? Inefficiency, all right? Laziness, all right? Apathy, okay? Are you hearing what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All of those are contradictions,
My.
okay, to Ephesians 5:16.
Come on.
And so if you're at your job, if you're at your place of work and you're there and you just like, I don't feel like it today. Okay, well, now you're in contradiction. Okay? And then if I put on here being slowful, okay, being a sluggard, okay, those things are in contradiction to what it is that the Word of God tells us. He says, look, what you need to do is you need to make sure that beyond the shadow of a doubt that you're redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Okay? Now, Psalms 90 and verse 12. Watch this now. Psalms 90 verse 12 says, so teach us,
My Lord.
okay, to number our days, that we may prepare or present to you a heart of wisdom.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
when he talks about the time that we have on earth, he says, make every day count.
My God.
Okay? Teach us to be accountable. Numbers mean to be accountable. We're getting ready to go through these things here on time habits.
Yes, sir.
But to be accountable relative to what's going on. He says here that God, Moses says, as he writes in Psalms 9, he said, look, teach us to number our days.
Teach us.
That we may apply our heart unto wisdom. Okay? That we may present to you a heart of wisdom. And so you've got this whole idea, you got this notion out here that says, if I'm going to be excellent in my career, then I've got to make the most of my time.
Come on.
That inefficiency, laziness, apathy, slothfulness, sluggardness are contradictions of the word. Does that make sense?
That's good right there.
Okay. And so as I've got this thing going on of contradictions of the word, then the problem that I'm having is that I'm dealing with this matter of saying, look, why do I come in and I don't want to accomplish the things that are set before me to accomplish, and I'm taking longer to get the job done because I just don't feel like doing it. That is a contradiction to the word, and that is being disobedient, and consequently Isaiah 1:19 says you're disqualified from the good of the land.
Ooh, Lord have mercy.
Hello?
No.
Okay.
Not disqualified.
Does that make sense? So now, we gave about 6 things that we said on Ephesians 5:16 to make the most of the time for the days of evil.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And the first one was what? You gave 2 of them. What's the first one?
Be on time.
Be on time.
Be on time.
Now, I'll be real honest with you. That one is a major thing for me because I overload. I know the cause of my being late and tardy or something, and people who know me out there going like, "Oh, I know you're not about to talk about being on time," but the fact of the matter is that, well, yes, I am, because I have full consciousness that I struggle in that area. Okay, so that I'm out here and I am. You struggle with that, and so when you struggle with that stuff, it's because I overload myself.
Yes.
And so I've got to do a better job. Of managing the time that I have. So be on time.
Yes.
Okay. What was number 2?
Accountable.
When you say accountable, who am I accountable to? Who am I accountable to, or what am I accountable to? Because remember, I'm saying make the most of my time. What am I accountable to?
So remember when we talked about work on relevant projects?
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's actually one of the one of the action one of the principles.
Right.
But being accountable to what it is that you know you're supposed to be doing. Being accountable to the assignment that's been set before you.
Okay. So I have a couple of things. I have an accountability to the assignment.
Yes.
I have an accountability to the organization.
Yes.
Okay. I have an accountability to the team. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then those are the direct accountabilities.
Yes.
Okay. If I had to get into this thing and say one reason that I work is because I have a family. Okay. The other reason I work is because it's God ordained.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The other reason why I work is because there's some stuff I want.
Come on.
Okay. So when I do that, I've got to understand that I am being accountable. So if I'm going to be a person of Ephesians 5:16, if I'm going to be a person of Psalms 90 and 12, teaching me to number my days and making the most of the time because the days are evil, I've got to be a person who has good time habits.
Ooh.
And that's something that I know that's my goal for the 3rd quarter. I didn't say my goal for the year.
Okay.
Because I can't afford not to fix that one this year.
Absolutely.
So I need to fix that one in the 3rd quarter.
Absolutely.
Which means I've got to get rid of some stuff, back away some stuff, take down some stuff, okay,
yes,
that really and truly are not going to allow for me not gonna allow me to achieve that goal. I gotta stop some stuff.
Wow.
And I gotta stop overloading. And I gotta stop overcommitting. And I've gotta stop to not having buffer time in. So number 1, I'm being on time. Number 2, I'm being accountable. Here's the other thing about it is what you're working on relevant?
That's it right there.
Okay.
That's it.
There's a thing I learned. I was in management when I was at Compaq, and what I talked about there was we were in a management training, and it was being done by an organization called Cinderlane.
Mm-hmm.
And Cinderlane, and I still have the placard. Cinderlane had a thing that talked about 3 words, and the 3 words were "Be here now."
Mm.
Be here now.
All right.
I've discovered that if there's something that has helped me excel in business as well as in ministry, is being where I was at the moment that I was supposed to be there.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. That's good. That's good.
Because here's the whole notion, okay? Here's the whole notion that when I start talking about this thing of being here now, okay? It says that I've got to manage everything that wants me to be somewhere else, even though I'm here.
Come on. Come on.
Okay?
That's it.
And some of those are my personal habits. Some of those are the things that really and truly cause me to be in a whole nother mindset, a whole nother situation. It puts me in another place. But he says to me, be here now.
Be here now.
Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in trying to be somewhere else. Be here at this place right now.
Wow.
Okay? And so this idea of time management says, of time habits, says that I need to work on what's relevant.
Work on what's relevant.
Okay? And here's what you need to ask yourself. If you have any questions or any doubts about what's relevant, what you need to do is ask your supervisor. Ask the person who is in charge of whatever it is of area that you're working in.
Yes.
How does what I'm doing fit into the grand scheme of what the organization is trying to accomplish right now?
You know, and that's so good. This guy, I forget the first name. Ramity is the last name, and he's a guy that actually came up under with the Facebook crew,
Okay.
organized Facebook marketing and stuff. And he says that when they're in the middle of strategizing, putting together, you know, what they're going to do, outlining for the day, he said every now and then some great idea would pop up and get thrown on the table. Wonderful. I mean, great. He said, but Mark would always say, how does that fit? Where does it fit under these objectives?
Wow.
Where does it fit under it's great. But where does it fit under these objectives and these action items that we're trying to accomplish? And if it had no place under either one of those subject areas, then he said, then that's something that we're not going to focus on right now.
Wow.
And it wasn't that it wasn't good, you know, they wasn't good, you know, or anything like that, but it was not relevant for what was set before them to accomplish for that particular day or week or whatever the case may be.
Because the value of a thing is not always determined by the immediacy of engagement.
Ooh, I wish I could write fast.
Okay? But
That's good.
But just put that, the
That's good.
value of a thing,
Yes.
okay, is not always determined by the immediacy of engagement.
Wow.
Okay? Just because it's valuable doesn't mean I have to immediately do it.
That's good.
And just because I don't immediately do it doesn't mean it's not valuable.
Man.
But now here's the thing about it is that what you do when you have that going on, okay? What you do when you have that going on is that you are managing the priorities.
That's it.
You're not letting emotions manage you.
Absolutely.
You're not letting a good idea that is a tangent
Correct.
determine what's relevant.
Determine, and so that's why when you say be here now, it's not just for the people that are listening. It's not just arrive at this place at this particular time. It's saying be alert and be here in be conscious, be focused on what we're doing right here, right now.
And the thing about it is that you when you don't do that, when you don't do that, you allow yourself and cause yourself to slip into a place that you cannot be efficient and effective in. You can't. Because and when folk want to know that if I trust you, okay, folk want to know that if I trust you, folk want to know, and I'm saying repeating it on purpose, that if I trust you with a large responsibility, are you going to be able to stay engaged with that responsibility even when there are temptations to become distracted?
Wow. That's good. That's good. That's good.
And one of the problems is that if I am doing that, how is it that somebody says, okay, I'm going to be able to trust you that when things get tough, you're going to stay the course?
Man.
Does that make sense?
That's good.
Because if you don't stay the course, okay, this whole thing's going to go offline.
Going offline.
And everybody gets a temptation to be distracted.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Jesus got a temptation to be distracted.
Come on.
But what happened? The Bible says that he dealt with the distraction. He dealt with the tempter. He dealt with the one that came in because Jesus needed to be where he was then.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. The Bible says that he went in the wilderness to be tempted.
That's right.
Not that he went to the wilderness to fail.
Come on.
Not that he went to the wilderness to participate, but that he went to the wilderness for preparation to be exposed to the things that would be three critical pillars to his ministry.
Yes.
Are you going to yield to your flesh?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to yield to your flesh? Are you going to yield to your ego? And are you going to yield to idolatry?
My.
Number one, command these stones to be made bread.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you so bad, throw yourself down. Prove yourself to me.
Yes.
Okay. Number three, look at all this stuff I got.
Yes.
I'll give it to you. You bow down and worship me. Oh my God. Huh? And so the question is, how are you managing? What are you managing in terms of looking at this situation right now? Because if you're not managing that, if you're not looking at that, then you have a whole other thing going on.
Absolutely.
You have a whole other thing going on. And so we're in this point where we're saying, look, we've got to work on that which is relevant. All right. Then we said number 4 was plan your progress.
Plan your progress.
Okay. What that is about speed, that is about rhythm, that is about cadence, that is about pace. We've talked about those words before.
Yes.
Okay.
Cadence and your pace.
So you need to write that. You need to write that down. You know, those who are listening. It is about speed. Okay. It is about cadence.
Pace.
Okay. It is about rhythm. All right. And it is about pace. Okay. Plan your progress. Okay. Because what you want to do is to make sure that as you plan your progress, speed, cadence, rhythm, and pace, as you plan your progress, you know what you have to accomplish by when in order to do what? In order to meet that.
In order to meet that.
Okay? Because what that does is that this keeps you, all right, it keeps you current and on task.
My Lord.
Okay? Does that make sense?
That's good.
Because if I'm kept current and if I'm on task, okay, then I'm able to get to this next place. And so now number 5. Number 5 says that we talked about planning your progress. Target your completion.
Yes.
And aim to finish. Okay. In other words, don't make something permanent that's supposed to be temporary.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
You see, because this.
That's it. We'll draw. We'll draw out. Look, we'll have us a wilderness experience on a 5-minute project.
Exactly. When we had this thing, and here's the deal. Can I throw one in?
Yes.
I want to throw one in. One of the biggest things that really impacts this whole notion of time habits is this: how efficient are you? I want to ask this question: how efficient are you? Okay. In managing emergencies. Okay. Okay. What does it take to manage an emergency? Think about it. What does it take to manage an emergency? Because if I was going to put that out there, that this whole, can you manage? Okay, can you manage emergencies? Here's the thing. When I look at this in terms of talking about managing emergencies, then it says here that I've got to assess the gravity of what's going on.
Yes.
Okay. I've got to look at this and I've got to say, yeah, okay, this is major right here. Okay. I've got to stop the bleeding. Okay. I've got to take care of the most critically wounded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've got to stabilize.
Wow.
And I've got to get back online.
Yes. Ooh.
Okay.
Wow.
And so how if you're efficient in terms of managing emergencies, okay? So you got to assess, okay? Once you assess, you got to stabilize, okay? You got to stop the bleeding, okay? And then you got to get back online. Those things right there is where you're dealing with, okay? Where you're dealing with managing, okay? You're dealing with managing professional emergencies.
So with these four, can you give an example of what assessment, stabilization, stop the bleeding, and getting back online would look like?
Absolutely. If I was going to say something pops up at work,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
but we let's use here.
Okay.
Okay. The camera went sideways. Okay. Well, the first thing we assess is, can we get the message out with the camera sideways?
Okay.
The answer is yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the message wasn't sideways, the picture was.
All right.
So, as opposed to going offline, we determined to stay online because the message was more important than the picture.
Mm.
The assessment.
Okay.
Number two, stabilize. We went here like, ooh, what we doing? What's going on? Will was up, down, looking at all this kind of stuff. Like, stop. After we made the assessment, can people still hear us? Let's move on.
Okay.
Stop the bleeding. Comments were being made. Y'all know y'all sideways. Y'all know y'all sideways. Y'all, and because people are concerned.
Absolutely.
Folk want to be a part of your success.
Yes.
So they were concerned. So, put a post out there. Yes, we know technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the bleeding.
Oh, I got you.
After the presentation, the show was done. Then it was like, what are we gonna do to get this fixed? Now you're streaming on YouTube, as opposed to and professional grade equipment, as opposed to personal grade equipment.
Wow.
Now you're back online.
Wow.
Does
Don't
that-
bleed.
Does that make sense?
Man, that's good.
Huh?
That's good.
Because that thing right there puts me in a position that says, look, I'm at a level now where I'm ready to move to a higher grade, okay, in my job, on my career, okay.
But that's, I like the steps of assessment, stabilization, stop the bleeding. The first thing when an emergency occurs is what we want to do is go straight to stop the bleeding without any type of assessment. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because it's the blood that we see, the trauma, if you will.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's almost like the emotional part, the frustration, remember?
Yes, exactly.
So we don't look to say this is a problem. We're caught up in the frustration of things, and all we're trying to do is just stop the bleeding.
And you can,
without any assessment, you can put a brick on it.
Stop the bleeding.
To stop the bleeding. You're gonna stop a lot of more stuff too.
Exactly. But that's what you can do.
Wow,
But
that's
when
good.
you have assessment,
Wow, that's good.
and that's really what you want folks to do, is that how do I take this and make absolutely positively sure, okay, that we're doing what it is that we're supposed to be doing, managing what we're supposed to be managing, handling what we're supposed to be handling,
Yes.
in the middle of this.
Yes.
And so that thing gets us there. So now in terms of my time habits, okay,
Uh-huh.
my time habits. So managing emergencies, dealing with inefficiency, laziness, apathy, slothfulness, sluggardness. Those are contradictions of Ephesians 5:16. Those are contradictions of Psalms 90 and verse 12. Okay? And so when we start talking about pulling this thing in, is that if we can't show you in the Word of God where the principle applies, then that brings a challenge to what you ought to be doing. This is not just about psychology. It's not just about theology. It's about the psychology of theology.
Come on.
And the theology of psychology that brings about a practical application that causes our lives to change.
What he said. That's what I said. What he said.
Is that what you meant?
That's
right
what
there?
I meant. Yeah, that's what I
right,
said.
right. And that's where we're going. And so it's powerful, and we are empowered, okay, to move forward in this thing every time we realize that, every time we recognize, okay, that God has put something in place for us
My.
that will help us manage every aspect of what we're trying to do in career. Let's do another one. Let's do another one real
Okay.
quick. Okay. Let's do development habits. Okay. Let's do, because we love to talk about vertical and horizontal. Okay. We love to talk about vertical and horizontal. You talked about yesterday this notion of reading. Okay.
Yes.
In terms of reading something that's out there. Okay. But here's my deal. Here's my deal. What is your learning? I want to ask this question. What is, okay, your learning aptitude and attitude? Okay? I want to ask that question. Because depending on what my learning aptitude is, okay, that's just my ability. How apt am I
Somebody said, what is that?
to learn? Okay, what is my aptitude? Okay, how apt am I?
Yes.
Okay, to learn. Okay, how apt am I? And then what's my attitude about it?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So now you got to deal with both aptitude as well as attitude.
Yes.
Does that make sense? So now when I'm dealing with aptitude and I'm dealing with attitude, now I'm trying to figure out, why is it that for the most part, people are not able, watch this now, people are not able to see where it is that I'm trying to go, understand what I'm trying to do, that I'm not able to see where I'm trying to go, understand what I'm trying to do, and I'm not putting myself in the position to where I am developing in aptitude and developing in attitude.
Wow.
Okay?
That's
So
good.
the question is, how do I feel about learning? How do I feel about learning? How do I feel about being better at this job that I'm in? Because most folks, if they won't learn because they don't see the benefit.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Because the time is like, there's too much time. It's too much time to be involved in that, from that standpoint. And so I don't want to be a person whose aptitude and whose attitude is down as it relates to learning.
Jesus.
Does that make
good.
sense?
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Okay?
Oh, that much.
So my whole development piece, okay,
Yeah,
my
nice.
whole development piece is saying, I want to make sure, okay, I want to make sure that I am in a place, in a position where my aptitude and my attitude are critical about learning and about development. Because if not, I'm not going to get where it is that I need to be.
That's good. That's good, Dr. Lane.
Okay.
That really, that is really good. The stop block. Okay. Quite.
Because but the idea is that if I'm the person who never wants to develop, if I'm the person who never wants to invest in me, if I'm the person who never wants to, why is it that I would think that the organization wants to develop in me, to invest in me and to develop me?
Absolutely.
If I'm not willing to develop me, if I'm not willing to invest in me, why do I think that the organization will want to invest in me and develop me? Whether that's in secular business, or whether that's in the enterprise, or whether that's in church, your civic organization, whatever you're part of, sorority, fraternity, whatever you're part of, what is your aptitude? How capable are you of learning? And what's your attitude about learning?
Because we creatures of habit, if you will, we look at how long we've been in a particular position and use that as the evaluation for when I should advance to the next place or the next level. You know, because we're church. So,
Okay.
we go to church. But you can tell easily, I don't care what position you're in and how long you've been there, a person that has not taken the time to increase their learning, to
Okay.
invest in themselves.
Okay.
Well, at the same time, I'm not trying to be sick and go to the doctor, and you're going to put a surgeon in there to perform surgery on me. I don't care if he is doctor who he is.
Right.
You understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
His title or how long he's been doctor who he is
Right.
does not say anything to me if he doesn't know the job. If he doesn't know, so don't come in there, with a machete, say I'm finna do open heart surgery.
Wow.
They both cut.
Wow.
But
Wow.
you
Exactly.
understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so that's the same way we look in organizations, and we say, "Well, I don't need any more learning. I've been here for 30 years.
Absolutely.
Ain't nothing changed, including you."
Including you. Including you.
And the truth of the matter is, everything has changed except you.
Except you. One of my greatest, the things that I say all the time. People say that they have 20 years or 30 years experience. So no.
That one job resume.
You got 1 year experience repeated 30 times.
30 times.
Or 20 times.
Wow.
And you may be, and you know what? You may be the best at what you did, but that's what you got, and that's wonderful. And have been somewhere 20 years, been somewhere 30 years, it brings about, it shows something. It's about consistency. It's about commitment. It's about stick-to-itiveness. It's about all of that. Truth of the matter is that the people who take the time with aptitude and attitude to invest in themselves and take have a different development habit than folks who are not interested in that, they're going to go further.
Absolutely.
Got about a minute. What we're closing.
Well, Dr.
What's your
Landry,
takeaway?
it's been great. I think two things out of everything we've talked about. Everything is great. But the first thing is, you said, learn to not just live life. Learn how to manage life. It is more to life than just living it. As a matter of fact, to continue to live it is to know how to manage it.
Wow.
And the other thing was, be here now. Be here now.
I want to take my thunder.
Yeah. Be here now. That I love that. You said the value of a thing is not always determined by the immediacy of a thing. We talked about coming up with some type of outburst or tangent of a great idea, but I need you. I need not just your body. I need your mind, intellect, attention, focus, everything. Be here now. Every bit of you. Be here now. I love that.
That's and the thing about it, and as we close out, guys, want to let you know that social resume. Look at that social media resume. And what is it that you're really finding? What is it that somebody will find out about you? When you're posting, what are you liking? Okay, what are you endorsing? What are you passing on? What are you posting, to your page and putting it up out there? What messages are you communicating? How much stuff do you post that you don't even write?
Wow.
How much stuff do you post from people who you don't even know? Okay, but just think about that. That's because from that page you can get your viewpoint, your relationships, your social consciousness. Okay, your convictions, your passions, and your priorities. We can find all that about just by looking and listening at what your social resume says. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for sharing us right here on Forward. For Mr. Marilyn Haynes, I'm your host, Paul D. Landry. We'll see you on tomorrow. Also, those who are listening, Gospel Radio Talk, we'll see you on tomorrow at 10 a.m. God bless.